Today I'm going to show you one of the simplest and most beginner-friendly way to make a translucent matte and pause soap base right at home. This soap base is fully customizable. You can remake it later and turn it into fruit soap, herbal soaps, exfoliating soaps, or any skin-loving soap you can imagine. What makes this method special is how straightforward it is. Unlike many other matte and pause soap tutorials, where you constantly struggle with checking temperatures and worrying about overheating ingredients, this method removes that stress completely. No thermometer, no complicated steps, and no advanced soap making experience required. If you are a beginner, this is a perfect place to start. So let's get into it. First, in a bowl, I have 29.75 grams of sodium hydroxide and 61 grams of distilled water. Carefully pour the sodium hydroxide into the distilled water and stir until everything is completely dissolved. And before handling sodium hydroxide, please make safety your number one priority. Always wear gloves, a nose mask, and safety goggles. Work in a well-ventilated area and make sure there are no children or pets around you while working with lye. As the sodium hydroxide dissolves, you will notice the solution becoming cloudy and extremely hot. That reaction is completely normal. This is our lye solution, and we are going to set it aside until it becomes clear. Now, bring in your digital scale and measure out 120 grams of extra virgin coconut oil. When it comes to soap making, an accurate digital scale is extremely important because precision is everything here. Every grams matter. Once you hit exactly 120 grams, remove it from the scale. Next, measure out 55 grams of stearic acid and add it into the coconut oil. Set that aside for now. In another bowl, I have 30 grams of distilled water and 30 grams of granulated sugar. Add the sugar into the distilled water. Now, take both mixtures, the coconut oil with stearic acid and the sugar water mixture, to a double boiler. We want the stearic acid to melt completely into the coconut oil and the sugar to fully dissolve into the water. Stir them occasionally while heating. After a few minutes, both mixtures should become completely clear. Once fully dissolved, remove them from the heat. Next, bring back your digital scale and measure out 120 grams of ethanol. Again, accuracy is very important. In another bowl, measure out 31 grams of glycerin. Once everything is accurately measured, bring in the melted coconut oil and stearic acid mixture. Add the glycerin and stir thoroughly. Then add the ethanol and continue stirring for about 3 to 4 minutes until everything is properly combined. Now let's bring back our lye solution. As you can see, it has turned completely clear. Slowly add the lye solution into the mixture while stirring continuously. Don't pour everything in at once. Add it gradually, in batches, while stirring the entire time. This gives you better control over the mixture and helps everything combine smoothly. And notice something important here. Up to this point, we haven't used a thermometer at all. Once all the lye solution has been added, the real workout begins. Stirring. We are going to keep stirring in a circular motion until the soap reaches trace. Depending on your speed and consistency, This can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. This step is extremely important because if you pour the soap into the mold before it reaches trace, the mixture will separate later. So how do you know when it has reached trace? While stirring, lift your spatula and observe how the soap falls. If the soap runs completely off the spatula without leaving anything behind, it hasn't traced yet. So keep stirring and testing. Now let's test again. As I leave the spatula this time, notice how the soap no longer flows off instantly. Instead, part of it hangs slightly from the tip, forming a little tail. You also notice a thin layer of soap begin to coat the spatula and slowly dry on its surface. That is exactly how you know the mixture has reached trace. At this point, add in the sugar solution we dissolved earlier and continue stirring for about 5 minutes. Proper stirring here is very important because it helps prevent separation and improves the final translucency of the soap. Once everything is fully combined, bring in your soap mold and gently pour the mixture in. Now we need patience. Ideally, allow the soap to sit on the stove for 24 hours so it can harden properly. But honestly, my curiosity got the best of me. So after just 12 hours, I decided to check on it. It has already hardened quite a bit, although not completely. So let's unmold it anyway. But if you are trying this yourself, please leave it for the full 24 hours before unmolding for the best results. Now look at that beautiful translucent finish. Let's slice it open and see what it looks like inside. I went ahead and cut out about 3 slices. And wow, look at that clarity. Highly translucent, beginners friendly, no cooking process, no complicated temperature checks, just a simple and effective method anyone can follow. Next, let's cut the soap into smaller cubes. You might be wondering why we are cubing it. Well, this is how we prepare the soap base for easy melting later. Once cubed, you can melt it using a double boiler and customize it however you like by adding concentrated fruit juice, herbal extracts, essential oils, fragrance, colorants, or other skin-loving ingredients of your choice. And before we end this video, let's test the lather. Take a cube, add a little water, and let's see how it performs. Look at that rich creamy foam, smooth, bubbling, and cleansing. Exactly what we want from a good melt and pour soap base. And that is it for today's video. In the next video, we are going to use this exact soap base to make a refreshing lemon soup. So make sure you don't miss it. Don't forget to like, share, and follow for more DIY tutorials and homemade skin projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.